The feeling of racial pride is not new for many African Americans, but the resurgence of black awareness and pride, black men and women face new problems, not only in relation to white society, but to each other in a black society. Recently, there has been a stream of articles on this subject, and the Chicago Daily Defender, America's largest black newspaper, began a series some weeks ago on the emergence of the new black woman. Benny Washington, reporter for the paper, surveyed the Chicago scene to report on how black men and women believe the revolution in racial pride will affect them and their families, before the sociologists and experts tell us how we are supposed to react.
As a reporter for the Chicago Daily Defender, and as a black woman married to a black man, I've become deeply aware of the effects of this new black revolution on the relationship between black man and black woman. I see it among my own friends, and I also see it in my home. But the most revealing and the most vocal statements about what the new black man expects from the new black woman came when I met with a group of young unmarried friends one Saturday afternoon.
I think that what's happening in America as far as black men, black women is concerned is that there's a revolution within a revolution. We are fighting our own woman. Our woman will not allow us to emerge as black men. No. But our black women, who has been put in this role of aiding white America, white structure, and castrating the black male, has continued doing this. She cannot live with us. It's not that we can't live with her.
Are you blaming us? Are you saying that it's our fault that this happened?
No, I'm not blaming black America women. I just said that I'm blaming the system. They are victims of the system like the black male.
Well, why do you say that we are castrating you? You say that you want to be the leaders. Okay, well, what about the black professional woman? Are you saying that there should be no black professional woman? Are you trying to deny black women the right to be creative, the right to function?
We're not asking for you to take a back seat. We're saying that you have got to be astute enough and can view the situation well enough where you just automatically know what your role is and step back. And whenever you want to have that aggressive thing, this is the thing that the young black man today is not going to tolerate. My old man tolerated it because his old man tolerated it. It came up for years and years and years. But today, the young black man is not going to take it. He's going to be out there as a leader.
White America has used black women to keep the black male in his place. And you're still aiding him by saying, well, we are qualified, we want to work, we can help.
Okay, how are you going to reprogram men so that they don't let us take over what's supposed to be their responsibility? And men that I have had dealings with, they are perfectly willing to sit back and let us do anything we want to.
I don't think that you have to reprogram men. I think you have to reprogram women.
No, you have to reprogram the man so that he will forcefully take what belongs to him, because you know women, as long as we can get, we're going to get, and it's part of our being. We're going to do anything to you that you let us, whether we want to or not.
You don't want to live on the level of income that I can afford you in love. Me, on the basis of that, you want to always be aspiring to have all those things that's a part of the great middle-class white American society, and because I can't deliver these things to you, you say that you are not a man.
I don't measure a man by how much money he can bring home. I measure a man by how he treats me. Whether when I'm tired and I'm sick and I'm scared, he's there.
For these women, the men are there. But with the feeling of racial pride has come new conflicts and new problems. Across America, they meet to discuss what black awareness means to their families and to them as black women of today.
You know, there have been a lot of myths created about the black family. We all recognize that. And one of the most pernicious myths is the myth of the black matriarch, you know. And this whole concept, and I think this is one of the reasons that the black community reacted so negatively to the Moynihan report, because we know that that's not true.
It was not like
the black woman has not been a matriarch in the sense that it has been defined thus far. And thank God research, and I hope black research, is being done now to reverse that kind of thing. In fact, the black woman has been a woman at the head of a household, not by choice, but by necessity. And more often, that's right, and more often than not, she is not a strong, matriarchal, aggressive, domineering figure. She is a woman in search of a man. But this story has not been told.
The prejudiced society created what we have now. So that's what we were. Okay, we have a revolution going on. What part of the revolution?
We're in an evolution. I think the revolution is yet to come.
Yeah, it's the I was going to say that because we keep tossing the word revolution around lightly.
Actress Val Ward performs the works of our black poets and dramatists. For her, black awareness is not revolutionary, but the very foundation of her marriage.
Today's black woman is forever complaining and demanding that the black man communicate with her. By this, she means she wants the black man to talk to her and tell her what's on his mind, despite the fact that whenever he attempts to communicate his ideas to her, she responds in the wrong way. The burden of the black woman's complaints rests on the premise that he does not like or accept the way she talks to him. If she comes at him wrong, all systems shut down and he does not talk to her at all, at least not in the open forum type of discussion that she wants. The black man is very vulnerable when he confides in the woman. To do so, he takes a step into what he already knows is a dangerous arena because the black woman is known to take information he gives her and use it against him at another time. She refers to him as unresponsive and insensitive when he will not answer certain questions about his personal feelings or views. The black woman gets very annoyed when the black man refuses to let her inside his brain. The complexity of his views often do more to anger her and harm the relationship than they do to promote open communicative unity. Let me read that again. The complexity of his views often do more to anger her and harm the relationship than they do to promote open communicative unity. The black woman wants the black man to talk, but if his talk is different from hers, she has a problem. If the black man is silent and unrevealing about his innermost thoughts, the black woman becomes suspicious and displays a generalized uneasiness. She can't block his idea if she doesn't know it. She doesn't realize it is because of her strident attitude and unpredictable reactions that the black man declines confiding his dreams in her. The black woman has emotionally dispossessed the black man. He has lost the sure-footedness he was created with. Therefore, the often illuminating revelations he arrives at are much too precious for the black woman's crystal is. The more the black woman fusses and complains, the quieter the black man may become. The black woman is accustomed to speaking to and about the black man in a negative and disparaging tone. She may even speak to strange, unknown men in a more civil tone. The harshness of her tone of voice, the shrill, grating impatience, her cadence and inflections speak loudly of her disrespect. She sometimes appears to glare at the black man as if she is on the brink of physically attacking him. She interrupts his explanations with more badgering, and her disregard for his ideas is so ingrained in her psyche, such as to be psychopathic in her nature. When she is really angry with him, she will stand toe-to-toe, feet apart, hands at her hips, as if daring him to say another word. She can fuss for hours, bickering, sneering, cursing, and competing to drive her point home with the highest extreme of emotionalism. She absolutely demands to have the last word. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to On the Shoulders of Giants. I am Joseph Ward. Continuing my reading of Sister Shahrazad Ali's book, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. This is chapter 6, Communications. And you see the video I started off with. So I got put onto that video. Shout out to my homie, Professor Carlton Jones. I got put onto that video by him. So y'all make sure y'all check out Professor Carlton Jones on FetLifeStation.com Fridays at 6 p.m. Right? Link is in the breakdown video description. So make sure y'all check out the homie Carlton Jones. Oh, and like this video. Like this video. Like this video. Like this video. Let's run these likes up. So he put me onto this video maybe over a year ago, about a year ago. And I always thought that this video was interesting, but I didn't know the name of it, so I didn't know how to find it. And I came across it and I was like, oh, I can use this, right? And it fit well with this chapter about communication because, yes, Black America has a communication problem and has had a communication problem for a while. From my understanding, that video is from the 70s. And it is talking about the new Black woman and the new Black man and the place that the new Black woman is taking in American society. And the breakdown in communication is evident in that video because the lady that was going back and forth with the man, that when they were sitting on the floor, it's as if she was not even trying to hear what he was saying. She wasn't even attempting to communicate honestly with him because she wasn't even honestly listening to what he was saying. He was explaining how Black women have been a pawn in a system of white supremacy to break up the Black family. And he's not saying that Black women have been overtly malicious in their actions, but what he is saying is they have been used by the white supremacists to break up the Black home. And her rebuttal is, oh, so you're telling us that we shouldn't have leadership positions, we shouldn't be in managerial positions. And that has nothing to do with what he's talking about. She's not listening to what he's saying. And it's because the communication is broken down between us so greatly. We don't really know each other. I have these conversations all the time with Black women. And that's what's great about this book is I'm actually in a position in my life to sit down with Black women from various walks of life and have these conversations. And they talk to me. And plus having various podcasts, I get to talk to people about various stuff, right? And people just like to talk to me because we be having good conversations, right? But Black women don't understand Black men, and Black men don't understand Black women. And that's one of the reasons why this book was written, to help Black men understand Black women better, because as Shahrazad Ali put it, the Black man has been under the microscope since we've got here. Not saying the Black woman has not been right by our side getting the torture, but as far as being under the microscope, criticized by society, the Black woman has not been criticized and scrutinized to the level that the Black man has. And this book was the first public attempt to analyze and scrutinize what was going on with Black women. Because the idea is, at the time and the idea now is, the Black man is the sole reason that the Black community is in turmoil, because the Black man didn't do his job in protecting the Black community. Well, we was messed up when we got here. And a lot of times when we tried to make it right, it was either other Black people, or when it comes to 60s and the welfare, Black women have to be honest about the role that they played in breaking up the Black family. The welfare, the women's movements and all this modern woman stuff did more to damage the Black family than slavery did more to damage Black marriages than slavery did. And that's an honest fact. We have to go look at that. During slavery, people were willing to sacrifice their lives to get married. Now, marriage, Black community, no, that's not what we want. But one of the reasons why is because of what we've been taught, what we've been told, and what we think we know, and we're just not listening to each other. And that's one of my biggest frustrations with the Black community, especially when it comes to the issues of Black men and Black women, is we don't have the issues that we think we have, but we don't know that because we're not listening to each other. Everybody got the answer. Everybody got the damn answer, but nobody's listening to each other. We got to close our mouths and listen. and listen to understand, not to respond. This is not a competition between black men and black women. No other group of people is sitting back like, yeah, go ahead, black men, go ahead, black. No, they like, yeah, y'all go ahead and tear each other apart while we go ahead and get better than y'all and put ourselves as a group in a better position than you are. Because that's exactly what's happening. But let's jump back in. Page 59, the bottom paragraph. She not only uses the sounds of disrespect to her own man, but will use the same intonations when angry with any black man. Her sons, her neighbors, her father, her boss or co-workers, her brothers or others. She can become so vicious sounding that sometimes it resembles a savage animal barking. In her anger, she will throw things, stomp her feet and slam doors, snatch herself around, and sometimes go into neutral. Her non-acceptable ways of displaying her anger are deeply rooted in her suspicions. Whenever she catches the black man in what she deems as a wrongdoing, she uses that opportunity to vent all of her current frustrations. She harbors grudges. The black man may start out arguing with the black woman about one point, and in the middle of the fracas, she throws in a few other topics. And by the end of the argument, he may find himself debating an entirely different issue. And that happens all the time, right? She keeps a mental file, on issue she is in disagreement with. She maintains about 90,000 kilobytes of negative information. And when she decides the right time, she springs them on her man. And that's crazy. That's a choice to harbor that baggage. That's a choice to harbor that ammunition to say, hi, I got you. That's the sign of a person who's not ready to be in a relationship. Because that makes me think about another point in that video. Because the gentleman and the woman when they were sitting on the floor were talking about how the black woman talks to the black man. And the black man is saying that how the tone is harsh. The tone is not a good tone. It's disrespectful. And the black woman is saying, she asked him the question of, how will the black man change so that he doesn't allow the black woman to not only talk to him in any kind of way? Because in her own words, she said, if the black man lets the black woman, she's going to talk to him any kind of way and treat him any kind of way. And then she asked him, what will the black man do to change so that so he won't allow the black woman to do that? And in my mind, I'm sitting here thinking, is she serious? Who the hell is she talking to? First of all, I ain't even gonna lie. If I was in the, first of all, we all grown in here. So you need to lower your voice. Ain't no need to be yelling like that. First of all, let's use our inside voices. And if you can't use your inside voice, then we can't have this conversation. This conversation is over. And I refuse to talk to you. Because you're trying to dominate this conversation. Like, and we grown. We all adults in here. So lower your voice. Secondly, it's very disingenuous for you to know that your behavior is juvenile, childish, and unbecoming and unproductive. You understand that that's your behavior. And yet you refuse to change because you benefit from the behavior. And then you say, why don't I change? So I won't allow you to be childish. But you know you're being childish and you don't want to be well, you want to continue to be childish because it benefits you. You are gaining from your childish behavior. And you don't want to stop doing it. You want me to stop you from doing it. And that's childish. Grow up. We're not dealing with that. We're not dealing with those type of women. If you're a woman who behaves and thinks like that, go over there. Go to white men, Asian men, Hispanic men, whoever you think will go with that. No grown man, I don't care what race, color, ethnicity, ideal, whatever. No grown man with sense will put up with that. No grown adult with sense will put up with that. We're not dealing with old ass children no more in our community. I don't care who you are. We're not dealing with old children no more. Grow up. You know your behavior is horrible. You know your behavior is unproductive. You understand that. You fully understand your behavior is unproductive, but yet you want me to stop you from doing it? And you're a full-grown adult? You're going to sit here on one end and flaunt how grown you are. And on the other end, you're going to become so childish and so incapable that you can't stop your bad behavior. Man, grow up. Grow up. We ain't dealing with that. We're not doing that. Find you, go dig in the bottom of a garbage can and find you a man that's going to deal with that. That's not what adults doing. That's not what Black people who are serious about improving our situation are doing. That's not what we're doing. The Black woman is not known to practice respectful communication skills with the Black man anyway. She simply does not know how to talk to him. Oh yes, she's a great conversationalist when discussing other subjects, but when trying to have a necessary one-on-one conversation with her man about a disagreement, a choice, an action, a fear, she has a complete breakdown of interpretation of the English language, which is so true. They act like they don't understand. Those type of women act like they have no concept of English language, of just conceiving sentences. She can't distinguish between a soft, comfortable voice and a scorn and contempt. She blows her top loud and wrong. If she would present her ideas calmly and unemotionally, the Black man could deal with them, and she does. But since she is so irrational about being right, she does not focus very well on one point, and her thoughts are scattered and unfocused because she is trying to argue about everything at once, which is unproductive. If the Black woman does not learn how to respectfully talk to the Black man, there is little chance she will ever really get to know him, nor of them ever coming together in harmony. And here goes the passport bro movement. Here goes the passport bro movement. You got Black men saying, I'm not doing this no more. I'm not dealing with Black women no more. I'm not dealing with American women no more. But we know in our community, they're like, we're not dealing with these Black women no more. And so fundamentally, because I know the power of the Black family and the long-term effects that it could have on our society, fundamentally, yes, I disagree with the passport bro movement. Fundamentally, because we have to have Black American men building families with Black American women. We have to have that. We have to have that. So on that fundamental basis, I disagree with the passport bro movement. But on the other end, I understand why they're doing it. Like two to three to four things are true at once in this scenario. Black men need to marry Black women, but Black men are unhappy with Black women. Black women are unhappy with Black men. Black men decided that they're going to go elsewhere to find wives and make families. All those are true at once. See, we're adults over here, so we understand that more than one thing can be true at once, and we can have all these different things existing at one point. Intellectually, we're not going to be dishonest on this channel. We're not going to lie to ourselves on this channel. All right? We're going to be honest about the reality that we live in. But if you don't understand what's going on the other side, take the time, but take the attitude out of it. The need to be right is tearing us apart. The need to be right. It's one thing to know what you're talking about, but it's another thing to have to be right. When you have to be right, don't nobody want to talk to you. When you got all the answers, when you know it all, you the smartest, nobody want to talk to you. But if you're trying to build relationships, you can't build relationships like that. One of the greatest revolutionary acts Black people can make these days is to build and maintain a healthy family unit. That's one of the greatest revolutionary acts we can have right now. building and maintaining a healthy family unit. She will hold fast to the most stupid ideology for just the state of claiming that's how I feel about it. If informed that her feelings are strictly emotional and have no bearing on reality, she fortifies her opinion and says, that's your opinion and I have a right to mine. Unfortunately, this is not an act. She actually believes that her feelings are the truth. She will refuse to consider any actual facts presented to her or analyzing any or anything else that conflicts with how she feels about something. Her feelings are her beliefs, and no matter how far-fetched from the truth her position is, she holds fast to it. And let me hit on that real quick, because I have a big problem with our youth being taught that their feelings matter in a grand sense to the total society. No, it don't. As one human being to another, your feelings don't matter to me if I don't want them to. Your feelings matter to you, my feelings matter to me, but they don't matter to the larger society. Feelings are fleeting emotions that come and go. You can feel like one thing now and feel like something totally different later on, right? Feelings should never trump facts. I was having this conversation with some folk earlier this week, and they were trying to convince me that there are certain scenarios where feelings will trump facts. No, I feel like we can make it without going to the groceries. I mean, without going to the gas station, because I've driven this car before and it was on E and I've made it. I've been able to go here, 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 here before I go to the gas station. So I feel like it. The fact of the matter is I'm looking at the gas needle. The gas light is on and it's at the far left edge of the gas placement segment, showing you that ain't no gas in here. You feel like you can go to 3 stores. The fact is you can't, because this thing about to cut off. You're running on fumes. I feel like I'm a millionaire versus I don't have $1 million in my bank account. You know, practical examples, but using them for to get the juices flowing. We're really in the time where people really believe feelings trump facts. Feelings have a place, but feelings can't trump facts, especially when the facts are laid out. How can feelings trump that? Doesn't matter how you feel about it. It's not true. It's not real. You have to change your feelings. You have a right to feel how you want to feel, but as an adult, you have an obligation to make sure that you are not being emotionally dishonest to yourself or the people around you, especially if you're talking about fixing our situations. Emotional dishonesty is rampant in our community. It's being promoted in our community. You have to understand the effect social media is having. These dummies on social media, the effect that they're having. The psychic scars of attempting deception based on her emotions are deep and lasting. She thinks that by agreeing with the black man, that puts her in a position to be subjugated. She is under enormous pressure to maintain her independent, separate, but equal identity. She views her difference of opinion as traits to make her unique and interesting. She cannot give in on issues that require her to change her thinking. She continuously views her banner of fear. She continuously waves her banner of fear. She is deathly afraid of being taken over, of being forced to concede. Often when the black woman learns something, completes a course, or even reads an article, she will attempt to sound wise. She enjoys the feeling she gets when she stumbles upon something she can wave in front of the black man and claim she knows more about it. And see, that's that competition. That's that competition that has come from being involved in or being falsely manipulated or being manipulated. What I want to say, being manipulated in a being used, basically being used by white women, the malicious white women, the white supremacist white society to be an enemy to your own men. So giving you the idea of superiority, that we must compete with each other, that because you are in an executive position, no one can tell you anything. And when it comes to your relationship, your place is in the lead. We shouldn't be fighting for power in our relationships, right? Because you should understand the position that you signed up for on the team when you signed up for it. And in this regard, black men have to start listening to black women. When a black woman tells you something that's a red flag in the beginning, don't overlook it. I remember watching the video. The guy lost his job. His wife didn't want to help him financially. Didn't want to help them financially. And she said from the beginning, she told him that her money was her money and his money was their money. So I'm not understanding what he didn't understand about that. I'm not understanding what he missed about that and how he heard that and was like, yeah, this is the woman I want to marry. What about that says team? What about that says we? What about that says us? Because the way she was talking about the situation and about him, it was more like she was talking down on him. She was talking as if she come from a superior position than him. The man slipped up 1 month. 1 month. 1 month he is incapable of paying the bills. And she's talking down on him and looking down on him, acting as if she was superior to him, which is crazy. He wasn't listening. His communication skills are off. Of course, her ability to say what she wants is there, but her ability to truly communicate, because communication is a back and forth that should lead to understanding and corrective action, or just action, period, or just understanding. It should be open lines of communication and understanding. I can verbalize to you, you listen, you understand, and your response is based off your understanding of what I said. And if you don't understand, you ask further questions to seek full understanding, and then we can move forward. If corrective action is needed, we can move forward with the corrective action. But if not, we got some understanding, right? But if we're not getting understanding, real full understanding from our communication, then we messing up. If the black woman just speaks to him if the black woman just speaks to him in a civil tongue, she is charged with being weak-willed. And this is by the larger society of the other damaged black women that this black woman may be around. So be careful about the black women that you have around you. Be careful about the people you have around you. Black women pride themselves on being assertive, aggressive, and speaking what she thinks is on her mind. When the black woman talks badly to the black man, she is not speaking her own mind. She is speaking from the artificial mind she has adopted from the Western civilization, from those white supremacist white women, right? This is something she learned first in slavery, then from teachers, politicians, newspapers, and television. The black woman has no history of speaking disrespectfully to the black man before she came to America. Disrespecting the black man is new to the black nation. It developed in slavery and post-slavery. It is odd to the black woman and considers downgrading the black man as advancement in her own development of equality. The black man must not allow his woman or any woman to talk to him in a disrespectful tone or way. He does not deserve it and does not have to take it. If to defend himself, the black man develops a feminine style of sparring with the black woman and tries to go blow for blow with her insults, bickering, and name calling, the woman will tell her family and friends that he just bitches all the time. She refers to his participation as bitching because she knows her kind of talk is indicative of the female gender only. She believes it is to be a natural part of her nature and wants him to believe that too. He should not, right? If the black man loses his cool under pressure and responds by flinging a string of colorful metaphors, curse words at her, she complains that he talks to me like a dog. The fact that she is the one acting like an animal never comes up. Sometimes the black man grows to respond to everything she says in a harsh rebuttal tone. He becomes accustomed to the rough talk and uses it as frequently as she. This is wrong. It only convinces the black woman that she cannot handle, this only convinces the black woman that he cannot handle her. So he has joined her. She would drag him under the earth if she allows it. And so, once again, going back to respect. Having respect for one another, even in disagreements. Slinging insults, talking down, being disrespectful to each other. It doesn't help us love us. It doesn't help us want to be with us. It doesn't help us like us, right? So, but as Shahrazad Ali stated, like I stated earlier, white supremacy is the root of all of this. And we have to understand that. We have to know that and understand that. White supremacy is the root of all of this. Black women didn't just wake up one day and decide, you know what? I don't like black men. We gonna be crazy. That didn't just happen. That was conditioning. That was programming. White women needed allies. White women needed allies to fight against the issues that they had with white men. And white women were able to convince a section of black women that white women's issues were the same as black women's issues. And those black women brought into it hook, line, and sinker. And now we have a generation of women who have learned maybe 3-4 generations of dishonest information that has white supremacy as the root of it, that has taught them that black men are their enemies and they can't build with black women and they have to look down on black women. They can't build with black men. They have to look down on black men. They're superior to black men. They shouldn't respect black men. I've literally seen videos where black women admitted that they think they're better than black men. They've been led to believe that because they have high-paying jobs, executive positions, nice houses, cars, and can pay their bills like normal adults, that they are superior now to the black man. They've been led to believe that having the adult basics make them superior to the black man because they believe most black men don't have their stuff together. They really believe that. They can't prove it. Of course, everybody has anecdotal evidence, right? So I know 3 black men who live with their mamas. Well, I mean, how many black men in America actually live with their mama? Give me that raw number. They don't have that information. They never have that information. So the black woman must be made to understand that the black man must first feel good about himself and that she should help the black man to feel good about himself when he is with her, right? That means that when the black man is happy with the black woman, it does not necessarily mean he is happy with her physical affection or exciting personality, as much as with how she makes him feel about herself. He will reciprocate. When the black man is pleased with himself and feels good about himself, his days are happy and he is radiant. He is eager to go off to work and eager to come home at night. In general, he is more productive. This is called satisfaction. Feeling good mentally, emotionally, and physically creates his own natural high, an elevation to peace and freedom and confidence and courage. anything can be accomplished, right? Black women have been known to treat the black man so badly. Well, hold on, let me hit on that first. Okay. When you are engaged in a relationship with someone else, it is not your job to make them happy, but you can aid in creating a happy environment. By one being, make sure you got the happiness within inside yourself. Make sure your happiness is together. If your happiness ain't together, stop getting into relationships. Don't waste nobody's time. If you're still harboring issues from your last relationships, stop getting in relationships. Stop wasting people's time. If you have to dominate the relationship, you're wasting people's time. If it's about you, you're wasting people's time. Peace and happiness should be something that is innate to a relationship. It's the norm. If peace and happiness isn't the norm in your life, it's not going to be the norm in your relationship. Think about it. You don't know how to be peaceful and happy by yourself. So it's just going to magically happen when you're with somebody? Who told you that? Like, for real, who told you that? Like, we have to stop being unrealistic about relationships. Like, these are real people that we're dealing with. And people are doing real things in their lives. Some people are doing great things. Some black women have missed out on opportunities to live great lives with great men because they can't get out of their own way, because they got these preconceived toxic notions about what men should be in this dream man and all these different things here and all these qualifications that the black man must have. And there's so many black women who are beautiful, successful, they got their lives together professionally. They got money, they can travel. And men don't even want to talk to you. Men can't even stand your presence, stand your conversation. When you open your mouth, men run. That's bad. Right? When I was young, I used to always wonder, why do we have all of these beautiful, successful black women that don't have a man or can't keep a man? And you come to find out that they're not good people to be around. Nobody cares how good you look. Nobody cares how big your booty is. Nobody cares about how much money you got in the bank. Nobody cares about your job. Nobody cares about your car, your house, your network, none of that. If I can't stand to be around you, if I can't stand to talk to you. If you make my skin crawl every time you open your mouth, that's a problem. You got to go back and you got to look at yourself. Get over yourself. A lot of black women have to get over themselves. So, yeah. Black women have been known to treat the black man so badly and talk to him in such a destructive way that he becomes confused and angry and is literally driven to drink or use drugs. She will prod him with her electrical shock tongue until she pushes him over the edge into some deep, dark cavern of despair. When she tells her friends about his condition, they will all agree that he got what he deserves for letting her do it to him. Here go the childishness again. It is their preconceived notion that if the black man resigns himself to obeying the black woman to the point of self-debasement, he deserves whatever hell awaits him. This is a cruel and unusual punishment that he earns as a reward for having the kind of overwhelming adoration of the black woman that she claims she wants. She only wants it until she gets it and then reverts to a destroyer. And that shows you how childish those type of black women are. I'm going to kick you while you down. Basically, you are an angry person. Let's just call it what it is. Basically, If you operate like that, and I know most black women don't operate like that. Trust me, I know most black women don't operate like that. But the black women who do operate like that, you are ain't person. Let's just call it what it is. Let's not beat around the bush. You ain't person. And you're a cancer to the community. You're a cancer to black women. You're a disgrace to black women. Hey, I am going to treat you like trash because you allowed me to treat you like trash. And that's the excuse. Well, you let me do it. So I'm going to do it because you let me do it. Instead of making the choice to choose to be better. You're making the whole choice. I could go this way and choose to treat you like a human being and treat you good. I could go this way and treat you bad. I'm going to go bad because you let me treat you bad. And that's the excuse. I have no self-control. I'm not an adult. I'm not an adult. I don't have no control over myself. I don't have no control over my actions, my feelings, my emotions. That's why, you know, everything is some feeling and emotion because I have no control over those things. The narrative is women are more emotionally intelligent. But this is your behavior. Point out the intelligence to me, right? But once again, this is not the bulk of black women. This is the loud minority. Emphasis on loud. She will lead him into a trap by plotting to do everything she can to make him fall in love with her. She will make him feel better than he has ever felt in his entire life. At least she makes him think she does. She will make him totally dependent upon her affections and attentions. She will set him up for the fall. It's a game to her to see if she can make or break him. As the game processes, she steps up her plan to debase him, and sometimes the change of tide is so powerful, it is his life that can't concentrate. The change of tide is so powerful in his life that he can't concentrate enough to work, eat, sleep, or behave normally. She literally drives him crazy. He cannot live without her and cannot live with her. The more love, the more pain. And she heaps it by the shovelful. It is a dangerous game the black woman plays because sometimes if the man cannot handle it emotionally, he may decide to eliminate her. Sometimes he does. When he reaches his breaking point and becomes threatening, she scurries back into place and claims she doesn't know what's wrong with him. She accomplishes the same deeds using jealousy, sex, or rebellion. While he explodes, she implodes. And she hates herself for not being able to control herself. Therefore, the black man should never allow his love for the black woman to surpass his love for himself. Read that again. Therefore, the black man should never allow his love for the black woman to surpass his love for himself. This is not being selfish. It is a raw necessity if he intends to survive his relationship with the black woman. He must never let her ego get out of control to the point where she becomes the main focus in the relationship. The black man must always be the main focus of the relationship. This does not mean that the black woman needs to be or should be or she should be unimportant, but she is number two and the black man is number one. My advice to black women is choose your quarterback wisely. Choose your leader wisely. Choose your man wisely. Why would you choose to engage in a relationship with someone who can't lead you? Someone who is incapable of leading you? Somebody that you feel like you need to take control of. There's a lot of things that people need to work on before they call themselves getting into relationships. But I also understand a lot of people lack the ability to be introspective. A lot of black people, black women in particular, since this is what we're reading, a lot of black women are grown children. Big grown children with big old booties, right? Big grown children. because you got that body, because you got that face, because you're doing these things, you feel like you're an adult. You got your own. That's why I got my own car. I got my own house. I pay my own bills. I don't need nobody to take care of me. Right. That's what adults do. Welcome. Welcome to the club. That's what adults do. But because you're so immature, you see that as something that makes you better than other adults, when every other adult looking at you like, man, shut up and get in line. Shut up and get in line. Everybody else over here paying bills. What other adults do you know that's not paying bills? Like, go on with all that. But the basic requirements is show you the juvenile level that train of thought is on. We have to be honest about where we are, who we are, and what we're doing if we're gonna fix our situation. So this chapter goes from page 58 to 72. So from page 58 to 72, that's what this chapter goes to. Communications. We don't know how to talk to each other. Black people in America, in large, don't know how to talk to each other because we're listening to loud minorities. And also, we listen to the white supremacists who told us to hate each other, who spread the lies about each other. And then like the clip when the lady was talking about the Moynihan report and the matriarchal makeup of the Black community, and she was pushing back on that. Black America is a matriarchy. Black fathers Black men have never had the same type of power over the Black woman that the white man has, right? Our societies have been shaped to be egalitarian because of slavery. So the Black man and the Black woman have operated more as in a partnership. And then the Black man was removed from the household. So the Black women stepped forward. And some Black women say they had to step forward. Well, remember, the Black man didn't have to be removed from the household. The Black man was removed from the household because the Black woman received the white man's benefits. So the Black man was forcefully removed from his household. He didn't want to leave. He was kicked out of his household. Those are facts. And there are a lot of, like Harzad Ali in the book said, a lot of Black women act like what they feel is correct is correct. Like, forget the facts, forget the historical information that shows that the Black community and Black marriage rates were doing good before welfare, before social integration, before the women's movements, before the free love movement, right? Before feminism. The Black family was doing good. The Black family was the standard. The matriarchy comes in because the Black man was kicked out of his house. So Black women have the idea that we have to take this road. We had to do this because the men weren't around, which is not true. There were some sections of Black men who may have left their households to go find jobs to make a better life. And sometimes those jobs took them into other states. But they were still working to help make their family better in the long run. But that's not him leaving his household. That's not the same as you can't live here if we want to get benefits from the government. That's something different. You can't be in your house. You're not allowed to be in your house because those traveling men could come back home whenever they want to. So the matriarchy comes in because Black women have the idea or have and had the idea that they had to step up and take the role of the head of the household because the men wasn't there. That's not true. And it keeps being spread over and over and over. Now, as time went on, black families started to break down. But even in that, black men are still the most active fathers, despite the lies. But those statistics, those facts, from the CDC that said the black men are the most active fathers, some black women feel like that ain't true because they know 5 black men who don't take care of their kids. Well, statistically, the majority of black men in America take care of their kids. But the feelings over the facts really helps break down the communication. There's no communication if you're stuck on this idea that black men are debased and wretched. And then your dating history reinforces that because you don't know how to choose good men. And let me address something. In the last video, I talked about the black women making bad choices in the men that they choose. And yes, I'm doubling down on what I'm saying. I can't remember the gentleman in the comments, but I'm doubling down. This is for you specifically. I'm doubling down on what I said with your Dr. Umar answer. And see, that's the thing too. Like, if you're going to respond to something, respond with your own thoughts, your own ideas, your own criticisms, your own knowledge base. I talked about black women making better choices in the men they choose. And Buddy didn't even give me his answer. He gave me Dr. Umar Johnson's answer from his time being interviewed on the Daily Wrap-Up Crew, where Dr. Umar said, we shouldn't be blaming black women for choosing bad men. Bad men shouldn't exist. This gentleman is really trying to get us to believe that there should not be any undesirable black men. So out of all the groups of people that exist in the world, every group of people understands that there will be a group of the undesirable people within your society, men and women. Men and women, they're going to be a group of undesirable, debased people who are not the best people. That exists in every group of people, every society, every group of people, every culture have undesirable people. But somehow black men in America are the only group of people who it's the other black men's fault that undesirable men exist. Because black women are not responsible for their behavior and their choices. Once again, get away. Black women, men like that, do not listen to them because they are enemies. They're enemies of our community and they're enemies of you because they're lying to you. You are responsible for your choices and the men you choose. And the majority of black men are not those Pookies and Ray Rays. That's not the majority of black men. That's a small percentage of black men, but they're continuously being chosen. And that reinforces the idea that men aren't good because these type of men are being chosen. I'm tripling down. I am completely putting the responsibility on the individual. It's your responsibility to choose the best person you can choose. It's your responsibility to do that. It's not my responsibility to be a good person. It's your responsibility to find out who I am and move accordingly. Now, I choose to be a good person as an individual. So therefore, when I go out and I choose women, because if I choose my brother in the comments, so if I choose a crazy woman, is it her fault that she crazy, or you're gonna blame me? Or is it gonna be my responsibility to make sure I don't choose a crazy woman? Or is it her fault for actually existing and being crazy? Are you gonna blame other women? Are you gonna blame other women for crazy women existing? We all know you're not. The dishonesty, the disingenuousness in these things, though, this is helping the communication breakdown. I don't like stuff like that. That's why I'm responding specifically. I don't remember the brother's name. I ain't finna go look for it, but I remember that comment because he literally, his answer was literally what Dr. Umar Johnson said on the Daily Wrap-Up Crew. Like, stop it. Stop it. First of all, give your own answer from your own understanding in your own mind. Don't regurgitate what somebody else says. And make it make sense if you're gonna say it. We're not in a time in Black America where people gonna act like they don't have to be responsible for their actions. We can't fix anything with adults choosing to not be adults. No, we're not giving Black women passes. Black women are adults. You're an adult. I expect you to behave like an adult, the same way I expect the Black man to behave like an adult. Nobody gets a pass on the adult thing. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care none of that. I don't care about your chromosomes. I don't care about your genital. I don't care about none of that stuff. We're adults and we're going to behave like an adult, male or female. And if you can't, then you need to go somewhere else. But the ones that's going to be building something real over here, you're going to behave like an adult. It's demanded. And if you're not going to behave like an adult, you got to go. You can't be here. That's how we doing, man. So Harvard Ali, the Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. Shoot. Black men, a lot of y'all Black men, y'all need to stop, man. Y'all need to step y'all game up and get out of Simpville. Get out of Pandaville. Stop being panda bears. Black women, y'all got to do a better job of calling out the panderers. Stop following the panderers because it sounds good. It makes you feel good. These people don't like you. These people don't have your best interest. And these people are trying to make things worse for us. They are more contrarians than anything. I see y'all. I see y'all. Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. Link is in the description. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all share. Jump in these comments. Let me know what you think. Remember, the information I'm saying, this is not about most Black women. This is about that loud minority. But the loud minority and the white supremacists, their messages affect the whole. And they are affecting the whole because we can look at the marriage rates and we can look at divorce rates and we can look at the single parent rates. And all the other disparities that our community and our children are facing. Let's do better, be better, think better, live better, and have better outcomes for a better future. Love you all. Make sure y'all catch the next video.